a seat at the table with some men with confidence.
And welcome to Men in Confidence Sharing, where we, the men of a certain age, share our thoughts, ideas, and opinions in confidence. Welcome back to the Open Mics podcast. Today, I'm your host, Tony, and we're going to meet the fellas. We got a full crew today. We're joined by Sean, Rhino, and Terrence. So one by one, let's say hello. Hello, Sean.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hello, Rhino.
Hey.
And hello, Terrence.
Greetings and salutations, people. It's been a while.
Your boys are back in town. It's like another 48 hours.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a video that was posted on TikTok and Twitter, It was just posted. And I will leave a link in the description. But the main topic was a guy was talking to a group of women, talking about how he's looking for a younger woman that is more impressionable as opposed to an older woman that is not as much impressionable. So first, I think we need to start off with a definition. So when you hear him talk, this goes out to all of the fellas. This is the question. When you hear him speak, what do you think he means by when he says impressionable?
Okay, so I'll grab the mic first, and I absolutely hear controllable, brainwashable, manipulated. That's what I hear when I hear impressionable.
Okay,
I guess I'll grab the mic next. I'm thinking about those words my colleague just used. I kind of get a negative tone from those words. I believe what he means is someone who's less likely to fight against his vision for his family, someone who isn't going to want to go their own way, someone who's going to see his vision and side up with him and be like, you know what, I'm going to help you get to that place that you want to be. That's what I think he means.
Okay, so Sean, what do you think he meant by the word impressionable when he was using it? Define it for us.
There's a part of me that wants to say that he used it wrong. Maybe he meant open-minded, but that's what I think he meant, open-minded. I think he meant, but then again, impressionable can still be used there. Somebody, and he describes it in the way that he does mean it. Somebody more open to another person's ideas, thoughts, opinions. I know that sounds real familiar right now, right? That should sound familiar to our fans right now. It just sound a little bit like our opening right now. But I think that's what he was saying, what he was describing when it came down to his definition of it, because that's my definition of it in the same way, is that I know if I had a young child or something like that I didn't want to be around a certain uncle because my child was impressionable and his uncle has bad traits, and I know from my child's personality he might pick those traits up, gamble, steal, drink, that kind of thing, chase women. And if I feel like my son may idolize his uncle, then I may not want him to spend that time with him because he's impressionable. He's open to following the pattern of those ideas. In that way, it can be matched up in the same, in kind of the same way. I feel like there's a better term for it than impressionable, especially when you're using it in terms of a relationship, because impressionable kicks off exactly what it kicked off in you know the term impressionable to a woman, you probably hear like, gonna kick off pretty much rebellion and anarchy and chaos and defiance, because what are you trying to do? You know what I mean? I don't need to be this or I don't need to be that. So I don't know. That's when we're talking about straight definition. Do I think that's what it means to me? And do I think he defined it right? He might have been a little bit off. Impressionable might not would have been a word I would have used, but I understand his point, truthfully.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, I thought he pretty much meant similar to what you were saying, Sean. I think he was talking about the ability to listen, respond, and change, but I won't go too deep in the definition. So now that everyone has their own idea of definition, what you've heard everyone else's, is it okay for him to want a younger, impressionable woman?
I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, but I want to stress that it depends on how young. How young is he thinking? How young is he? How old is he? And how young is he looking at? Because just from my own personal beliefs, I've heard a man can date a woman as young as 10 years younger than he is. That's not me. I prefer a woman to be within 5 years of me, either way, either 5 years older or 5 years younger, but no more than that. But I mean, I saw a post on social media. Someone was talking about their grandparents, and their grandmother was like something like 12 or 13, and her grandfather was 24. And I'm looking at this tall man beside this child, actually. But this was back in the day, like I'm like the 1920s maybe. And I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying life back then was a little different. So depending on how young this man wants his wife to be, I don't think there's anything wrong with it if she's a couple of years shy of him. But if he's going super young, I would dare say that I would take issue with that. And I'll just go ahead and leave it at that.
Okay, so because I had sort of a dissenting opinion from the rest of the group, I'm going to air some things out. First of all, my wife is 6 years younger than me. So when Ronald said 5, I thought that was interesting because she's literally 6
Right.
years younger than me. So like right under.
You skate right on the line.
So, yeah. I still stand with the idea of the word he chose as being a negative, because what you all are describing is, open-minded is closer, like-minded is, I think, a little bit better way of trying to express what he's trying to convey. But I don't know that is the intent behind what he was saying, because to me, what I heard was somebody saying, I want a younger woman who is impressionable, because if I have a plan and if I have a vision, and there was a lot of I talk in what he was saying, and it wasn't necessarily talking in a way that he was looking to build with someone. It was like, I'm going to do this and I need you to follow me. That's not really equally yoked. So for those reasons, no, I don't hear that as a positive or you know, as a good thing. I really hear it more as I'm trying to get somebody. I want somebody that I feel like I can talk down to, in a sense, because I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm more mature, I know more. So I expect you to just kind of fall in step and, you know, toe the line because I said so kind of thing, which can be dangerous. Rhino also mentioned something about not knowing how old the guy was, and I don't know how old he is exactly either, but based on his comments, and he said in his experience, he finds women that are 30, 33, 35 to be too old and have too much experience for him. So I'm thinking that I'm guessing he's in his mid to late 20s. That would be my rough estimate. So then, yeah, the question kind of becomes, how old are you talking? Are you talking like 19? Or are you talking younger than that? Or are you talking someone within that 2 to 3 year gap of you, which that's kind of a wash at that point, because you know, at 26, 27, did we really have everything figured out? Did we really know a whole lot then? I think it's been said a couple times within this circle, I was stupid at that age. So that's kind of what I'm hearing. A young man who was, you know, full of himself a little bit and not really, he might be trying to find the right track, but ain't quite there yet.
Okay, so I wish I had a sound effect because it would be a match being lit and probably about to be thrown in a fire. And you're hearing this, about to hear a fire roar. Probably not only within us, but also within my own house.
Oh boy.
Oh, y'all are starting heavy this year. All right, listen. We talked about definition, but I ain't gonna trip. To go more to what I really understand what he was basically saying. Now, you're right. Do be careful about how young we talk about here, right? We're definitely, and we don't want anybody to think we are in support of anybody, becoming jail bait. Don't send yourself to jail. There is a such thing as the law, the statutory and things of that nature. Don't go that young. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what he's saying. You figure you're in the dating world. If you are and I don't want to use the word alpha male. I just want to use the word man. You got a plan for yourself. You're not dating anybody yet, but you see goals for yourself. Even and that can happen young. That can happen at 25. That can happen at early 27. You can see what way you want to go in. Hey, I got these long and short-term goals for myself. I'm in the military right now. I plan on doing that up until XYZ. I'm gonna buy my house. Then I'm gonna do, and I got plans. Okay. When a guy like that, if you're dating, and let's say he has met these other women. See, this is where I get this from. I will agree that if you meet a female, she's in her 30s, 35, 33, that kind of thing, same kind of plans, same kind of fire. She been by herself. She got her plans. It's gonna be a little harder for y'all to mesh, for you to come in and just be like, and I'm not saying, like, I understand what Terrence is saying. At that point, you have to talk, you have to work it out. It becomes a big compromise. It becomes I was planning on going over here. Well, I was planning on doing this. Okay, we got to figure this out. But I was planning on going over there. Well, I don't think you should do that because of this, in my experience, and this and that. There is a difference between dating that type of woman and dating a young lady who doesn't know what she wants to do yet, or is still trying to figure it out. And then when you start spitting out some things and you start saying, hey, I got this, and she's like, that makes a whole lot of sense. you, I'm going to trust you to lead and things like that a little bit more, and they're not going to give you, and you'll be sitting there in the lead yourself going, that was easier than 35. Not saying, I mean, not, you know, let's consider that it's not jailbait. Let's consider it's 25. I'm 32. And, you know, I'm coming off of dating both a 35, 35 and a 33-year-old who, oh boy, they had it together. And some of those same, matter of fact, some of those same women that were sitting in the circle was the ones that was about to jump. So what are you trying to say? I'm training this or that. You know why? You know why you feel that way? Because you're already coming with all your preconceived notions. Your mind is not already at a level where it's open enough to take anything that I'm saying. So that's why we had these problems. So yes, I understand the young brother. I understand that he is able to make that choice right now. It's just like when you don't have a car and you don't have anybody to be responsible to for that car. If you want a Mercedes, you can decide right off the bat that you want a Mercedes. And nobody should be able to tell you different. If you want a Mercedes, get a Mercedes. There might be some people who tell you, hey, there's going to be some issues come with that Mercedes. You're going to have high payments, and the oil change people or maintenance people going to love to see you coming. If you are willing to take those consequences, go get you a Mercedes. Ain't nobody can tell you not to do it. So I ain't telling this young man that he shouldn't want somebody who's young. Impressionable may not have been the word, because that does make things sound a little dangerous. But hey, I understand. I really do. I'm just telling you.
Appreciate that, fellas. Okay, so I guess I'll chime in. One of the things we were actually talking about off camera before this all started, I was saying that one of the things that I believe in is for a person to be free to have their own opinions, whether you like them or not, whether you agree with them or not, even if they're considered hateful and negative, they have the right to believe and think as they want. Now, when it comes to him wanting a younger, more impressionable woman, I think this is offensive because it's a woman. I'm going to take that part out of it. Let's just talk about people as a whole. As you get older, you become more set in your ways. Even as a man, as you get older, you become more hard-headed. As you get older, you become less likely to work with someone. Come on, like, shoot, we all have jobs. We all work for a living. Like, there was a time when you used to get up early. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You smile and greet everybody. People at work don't get that no more.
Nope.
Not now. True enough.
That man died a long time ago. Like, what if he want that good morning smile from somebody? What if he want to get that smile from somebody? He ain't gonna get it from the old person. But I guess my main thing is that, like, I can understand why it would be offensive. And okay, not holding no punches. Okay, so there's a saying out there to say a hit dog will holler. So the people that were complaining happened to be older women. I'm sorry, everybody. But anyway, the people that were complaining tended to be the people that were on the outside of the fence that he was talking about. I don't know what else to add to that.
Okay. There's not much to add to that. And that's a perspective. I can't argue that point. What I would say is, I think sometimes when we had this conversation about people and their preferences,
mm-hmm.
I don't know that anybody here was necessarily saying that he's not entitled to his preference. He want that Mercedes. He want that nice 2023 model. Go for it. You are entitled to do so. I think for me, my thinking is more the why behind it. Because if you dig into it and get and unearth the why from what I heard sounds problematic.
Describe what did you hear as his why?
His why was because younger was more impressionable. If I have a plan, I would think that they would be more inclined to follow what I say because I already have a vision in mind. And you know, if this is again a successful relationship, it's supposed to be equal. There is no you follow me and just kind of do as you're told. It doesn't seem balanced. It seems really dictatorial. And Sean, I see you. I see you scratching your chin. You have a daughter.
Okay.
Let's just put it out there. You have a daughter.
Okay.
If she had someone in her life, you know, let's say Kat's 8 years older, and was saying them same things, would your opinion be the same?
Yes. And here's my thing. My opinion, because I would, like you said, we're talking about it would be somewhat. He can be.
You've already backpedaling.
Well, no, he can be.
It was
he
yes,
can still be.
maybe.
He can still be who he wants to be. He can still be who he wants to be, and he can still want and has the right, I feel like, to want a younger lady for those reasons, or somebody, even if it's not just about being younger, but he keeps using impressionable, and like you said, I feel like there's a better word, we just haven't found it yet. But regardless, when you're using, want somebody that is, he feels more workable, because I can understand when you meet somebody who is it feels like it's a tug of war all the time. It feels like it's a push and pull, or it's up against a wall, or I can't do anything, just do it. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint. And with me, I have a tendency to believe that, we as men, we're head of household. And from a standpoint of, if there is a deadlock, straight deadlock, you feel strongly a certain way, I feel strongly a certain way, we both got really great points, something has to be done. Guess whose way I think it falls to? Just naturally, by dominion. It's mine. I'm head of household. If I'm doing my job as head of household and what I'm supposed to do, now, a good head of household, I grant with this, will take into consideration his partner. I chose you as my 50-50 partner. I want you here with me. Your opinions matter to me. But if we deadlocked, and a decision has to be made, I have dominion. I'm head of household. This is what we're doing. And that's what we get.
Okay, so how is that 50-50?
You said how is that 50-50?
Yes.
I didn't necessarily say.
You did. You said I chose you as my 50-50 partner. How is that 50-50?
Right. That's you. It's 50. And I said, but in a deadlock, I'm talking about in a situation where you can't work it out. Something's got to happen, right? It's either going to be something you don't want to do, or something she don't want to do. And I'm not. And again, I'm not saying. I said I make the decision. I'm not saying that the decision has to be whatever it was that I didn't want to do or she didn't want to do. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, a good head of household, I'm taking into consideration her feelings and my feelings, or her opinions and input and my opinions and input. But if we deadlock, we got to figure out a way to get around this. And we are deadlocked on both. We're just on opposite sides of the fence. But a decision has to be made. Decision has to be made. That's on me. We still 50-50. I'm not saying, I understand what you're saying. You feel like that becomes now, oh, that's not really 50-50. That's you being in the lead and things like that. I'm not saying that you have to be callous about it to say, everything I say and I always rule, because it doesn't mean that I might make the decision of what she wants to do. By me making the decision, I'm making the decision, but it may be what she wants to do. She's still a partner in it. She still had input in it. We still here together. I'm just talking about us in a deadlock. Everything can't be compromised all the time. Sometimes if it's just, are we going to move or are we not going to move? That can't be compromised. If you want to move and I don't want to move, there's no compromise to that. If we move, you won. If we don't move, I won. I mean, and it's not about winning or victory, but it's about, well, which one got their way. But let me trace this back to what you had said from before about me having a daughter. I would tell my daughter that if this bothers you, and as far as him, he still has the right that he wants to be out in front and this, that, the other thing, you don't have to date him. You can take the mantra of that's not who you are. Just like them 33 to 35, those ladies that was at front, they're not going to date that dude. At least we hope not. One of them might be dating him right now because women's minds work different sometimes. But I'm just saying, dog, we might be surprised. Anyway, I would tell her, you don't have to date him. He has a right to look at it the way he looks at it, but you don't have to mess with him if you're bothered by this at all. I would say, if she asked me, well, do you agree? I would say I agree with, I can understand where he's coming from. I would say be careful. I would, because I can see what you're talking about, Terrence, where some things set off a red flag. You don't want somebody who's going to be controlling, right? Completely controlling. And that does sound like it gives way to, I want somebody who's going to shut up and not come buck against me so I can do whatever I want to do. Because you are right. There was a lot of eyes in that. He has, like I say, I understand part of his opinion, though. I really do. As a person, I think, who has dealt with women older, thought I wanted women older for that very reason of they know what they're doing. They got a track, and I don't. So I'm going to use them to help guide me from that standpoint and figure out what I want to do. And after going through that and then coming back and realizing that, and not saying that the other side is the better thing either, but I can understand how it is much better to, have it where I presented a plan. I say, well, I want to, hey, babe, here's what I think. I think we should do X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. What do you think? Well, I think that I like part of your plan, but I think this, this, and this. Oh, okay. So what do you want to do? No, but whichever one you want to do is what we can do. What? It's me. I get the choice, but then like I said, for me, like Tony was saying about falling into their ways, I have fell into that way now, where it's like that's where it's gonna be. That's what it is. That's what I like, and that's what it's gonna be.
So let me jump in, because everybody's not the same. Like, I think for a good bit, we're close as far as what we believe in as fellas. Like, there may be slight varying degrees of it, but we pretty much listen to our women, or if we had one, we would be willing to listen, right? Like,
Right.
It wouldn't be a dictatorship, right? Like, just run over like that.
Right.
But here's the thing. Our relationship ain't everybody's relationship. There are some people that prefer that on both sides. There are some guys that prefer being the dude that runs everything. And there are some women that prefer being with the dude that runs everything. So
It's true.
if you are the woman that doesn't like being with the dude that runs everything, it don't necessarily mean that it's wrong that dude wants to run his house, right? just because he don't fit you, don't mean that he shouldn't be with somebody or he shouldn't want what he want. Like, if he don't fit you, that makes it easy for you. Find somebody else. Don't try to convince him. Don't try to convince a square to be a triangle. Like, you shouldn't have 4 sides. You should have 3 sides. Like me, I got 3 sides.
Right. Don't be the kid killing with the little yellow triangle, trying to put it in the star part.
But
the little ball with the remember the blue and red ball?
Yes.
You still try to put the triangle in the star part. It ain't gonna work.
But here's the other thing, because I feel like there was a lot of projection in that. Like, it felt like people were looking to be offended and getting caught up on the word impressionable. And like, before we started talking, I think I put a post or something like, it feels like someone's always getting caught up on a word, whether the word is impressionable or submissive or, you know, whatever it is, whatever the word is. Like, basically, I'm willing to listen without arguing. I'm willing to compromise. That is basically what everyone's fussing about. Like, why do you want someone that will compromise? Why do you want someone that will listen? Why do you want someone that is cooperative? Why don't you want the opposite? Why don't you want me uncooperative, not listening, headstrong? Doesn't that sound great? Isn't that appealing to you?
No.
Not at all.
I don't know. I think people are just funny to me now. It's like seem like people are forcing others to be what they want. Like, why are you short? Why aren't you 6'2"? Why don't you have muscles? Why don't you have $100,000? Why aren't you a boss entrepreneur with a criminal record but gave up the life? So now you're a businessman that ain't scared to kill somebody, but you sensitive only to me. Like, you don't take nothing from nobody, you don't listen to nobody but me.
I'm gonna need you to start talking about my ex-girlfriend like that.
I like that.
I need a combination of John Wick and Wanye Morris.
Hey, but not to take away from my boy Terrence, I got to give you, your answer is a very mature type answer when it comes down to, like, and not to say that we're immature, but of course up against mine, I'm understanding that young man's immaturity as well. And so, you know what I mean? I get it. He's going to probably learn later, because even whatever female he gets involved with that's impressionable at first, because I don't care if you go to San Juan and you pick up mail order, you bring her over here, things are different there, or I should say Asia or Thailand, right? What's gonna happen? You're gonna bring her to America and she's gonna realize she's American and she can do what American women do, things different. And she's gonna turn around. I'm just saying. And she's gonna catch it. Y'all gonna grow up. She's gonna grow up. She's gonna turn into a 33-year-old, no matter how much older you are than her. And then you're gonna have these problems that y'all have to work out even after being together for 6, 7, 8, 9 years or whatever the case may be. You're gonna have to work with her.
I'm just laughing because this was a conversation that we had before you even got on. That whole finding somebody. What was it? Passport bros. Is that what you? Is
that what y'all were talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. Right before you popped in, That was the conversation.
Which
Yes,
which one of
sir.
y'all was talking about going to San Juan to get a or which y'all went to San Juan to get y'all fried?
I was,
Or to
I was
Singapore?
describing to them what it was. But here's the funny thing. Here's the thing that's funny to me. Like, I hear a lot of the criticism about it, and I'm like, ain't the other side been doing that the whole time? Isn't that how Stella got her groove back?
I mean, oh, we bought it. Yeah, right.
Like I could have sworn I saw a movie called Girls Trip.
Oh yeah.
That's the name of the movie. But I want to go back, like being real for real. Like him trying to go young to find somebody more cooperative. I don't know, bruh. Like, have you seen the way these generations have been raised?
Telling
Like, you might do better with a 50-year-old than put a 25.
For
Right.
real.
Like,
Oh, real.
have you
He must
seen the
be
difference
able-
in generations?
Oh my
Listen.
gosh.
He must be didn't go to high school where I went, because I tell you what, I mean, it was a flip flop then. Those ladies that we went to high school with and what they wanted then, what they were looking for, man, I didn't have a snowball's chance in heck with him right then. Now, 6 years later, 2 babies, 2 more baby daddies, this, that, the other thing, and Sean is the greatest thing ever because he's driving a Charger, and you don't want all that anymore. Now you want somebody who works and who doesn't play PlayStation all day, and who don't have maybe I don't have the muscles, and I'm not 6'4", yeah, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not wearing Jordans or whatever, Anyway, that's just my bitterness coming through. I'm sorry.
That boy didn't prove out, didn't miss out to be a good dad. The bad boy couldn't keep things in line. I'm thinking '67 fast car. And I remember we were driving in your car. Everything seemed so great and wonderful. The song turn at the end. Get in your fast car and drive away. I don't need you no more. I need stability. I need someone that's gonna help me raise our children, because you're trash. You haven't changed at all. You're that same old dude that you've always been. I thought we were gonna get better and things are gonna get better, but things haven't.
Psych.
So now I need a minivan. I'm giving up the Corvette. I need a minivan.
I'm gonna do my best not to talk about anything personal, but I totally get that. I started dating seriously very late in the game. And then I got hung up on, where I really got hung up was love. What is love? And then I realized, as someone pointed out to me, you spelling love wrong. Love isn't spelled L-O-V-E, it's spelled M-O-N-E-Y. And then I got to a place where I'm like, well, wait a minute. If I need money to get love, then why don't I just pay a prostitute? At least that way I cut out the middleman. I don't have to deal with all the nonsense. I could just, all right, thank you, man. You have a good one. I'll call you when I need you. Obviously, I'm not advocating prostitution, obviously, and I've never done that, and I don't ever want to do that. My point is, what does this mean? Why is it so difficult for me to meet someone normal? And that doesn't mean that I want to go and find somebody younger that I can impose my will upon. I don't want that. I prefer a woman within my own age range, preferably really close to my age range, that can meet me and love me for me, and hey, let's meet out a life on this world, as opposed to all of the combative things that people post on social media. I really gotta delete it.
Hey,
So
Rhino, take a trip to San Juan with me right quick, man. Let's go to Mexico.
Lord
right
have
fast.
mercy.
Nah, what are you talking about? I'm
I
just
just
saying. I want to take a trip with my boy. No.
Look,
Go ahead, Terry.
okay, so allow me to play host here for a second and ask the group a question. Would you prefer someone impressionable who's just going to follow suit with your vision, or someone like-minded, meaning somebody who has a similar aspiration, maybe a different way to get there, but you're both kind of looking to get to the same place ultimately, or just somebody who's willing to follow your lead?
I want to go. Oh, go ahead.
2 for 500, Alex.
What'd you say?
I would prefer someone that's headed the same place that I'm going. Someone that basically has the same life goal, and we can reach those goals together, as opposed to having to mold someone. Have you ever tried to lead someone before? It can be kind of difficult. But when you guys have the same goal and you're headed the same place, and you're in tune with the same endpoint, then you can better work together to get there, as opposed to someone who has their own goals, who has their own places where they want to, which is going to completely work against you. It really will. And you don't have to find yourself trying to change somebody, because you can't change them.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay. Movie reference. So a lot of times when they say someone's impressionable or going to listen or follow, they'll think like Vanessa Bell Calloway in Coming to America, like whatever it is you like, bark like a dog, and they just do whatever. Where sometimes it's not that serious. Like it might just, like, your impressionable person might be Lisa McDowell. Like, she's competent, she's able, she has a mind of her own, but she still values your opinion and listens to you. Like there is, like, it's not one or the other. It's like, it's not you dominating them. Like there's an opposite. It could be where, okay, you want to get somebody that's, your equal, but you might be the most impressionable. You might be more impressionable than them. And then you be driving to your house. Why are you going that way? Why are you going so fast? Why are you going so slow? You see what I'm saying? Like, you might be fighting over everything. Like, I'm going to have a hot dog. Why are you having a hot dog? Why are you putting ketchup on? I don't like relish. It's my hot dog. But you might end up fighting over everything. Like, it's okay to be malleable. It's okay to be changeable. I don't like going here, but one of my favorite verses talks about putting new wine in an old skin. Why? Because the old skin is brittle and it won't move, it won't flex. You need to be like a new wine skin. You need to be flexible. You need to be able to change. I don't know why people are so abhorrent to change. I'm gonna quit. Next person.
I know. I feel you. I feel you, Tom. You were giving me time to sit here and be like, all right, do I have any other answer than the answer that was bad, just like the first one? And I don't. I understand the like-mindedness. I really do. I understand exactly where you're going, Terrence, with that. Would you say? Would you rather?
This is your would you rather.
Yeah, this is so. Would you rather? Yes, I think ideally you want the person to be
What does Sean want?
No, seriously. I don't believe that I would in that young gentleman's place, I don't believe that I would uh you know want to pick either for either. Like I don't believe in trying to narrow the field to some degree to say, oh, I only want younger women, I only want older women, I only want light skinned women, I only want dark skinned women, I only want tall women, I only want short women. You know what I'm saying? It's just because the moment you say you only want a tall light skinned woman, you know what I'm saying, you'll be missing the greatest thing you could have ever had in that short dark skinned female. See what I'm saying? Same type of thing. So I wouldn't type it and zero in that way. Being specific to the situation, I do need somebody though where I can feel like the lead of my household, and that, you know, if need be, if chips are down, if it has to go, whatever the case may be, I know that she will, you know, support me, and you know what I'm saying, and follow me, let me lead. Like I said, that doesn't always mean that I get my way or I should take my way, but for me, there's a pride in having my wife have trust in me to lead the family, and that's a lead thing. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, I kind of stick my chest out on that. I've been through those levels where I was like, shouldn't it just be we give our queens whatever they want, whatever you say, dear, whatever you say, dear. What do you like, Sean? Whatever you like, dear. Because in the end, you're gonna get your way anyway, and that was like I had a whole other mindset. Like my opinion didn't matter. Who was I? But I think that's what you're hearing in me is the change became, who am I? Oh, I know who I am. Now I know who I am. I am. You know what I mean? I can bring this to the table. I am, to quote, what's the song? The oh man, the Make You Believer, the heart freaking a heart. What's that song? He is.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but I do.
I think it's Lettucey or somebody who sings it. It's a song called He Is. But yeah, that's, you know, so that would be me. I probably do. I don't want a kid. I don't want a yes person. Whatever you say, like you say, but you know, let me lead. Trust me enough to lead us when you get here from that standpoint, and not be, you know, wanting to pull me in the other direction or say I don't know what I'm doing or make me feel, there's a term, emasculated. The other saying. So, all right, I'll drop that there.
No, hey, look, that was it. It was the question just floating around in my head as we were talking, and to be completely honest, you know, I think you're absolutely right, Sean. I kind of agree with what you're not. I agree with what you're saying, but that whole being able to say no, I understand your vision. I understand what you're trying to do. I trust it. I believe it, and that's what works. I think at the end of the day, that's what most dudes want, is somebody who's going to be like, no, I support what you're trying to do, and I'm going to work with you to get there.
You know what? I think that people on both sides, women and men, don't realize how much you can supercharge a man by just believing in him. By just saying, you know what, I got an opinion, but I trust your judgment. You trust my judgment. All right. Next thing you know, you winning like Tom Brady, you know?
Exactly. almost simultaneously, like you said, Tony, almost just because that happens, what you wind up turning around doing is, this is what she wanted in the first place, right? You trust me, I trust you to make the right decision, babe. You got it. Okay, cool. And your input was this, and my input is this. We're gonna do what you want to do. Next thing you know, and I still feel like I made the decision to do what you wanted to do. Now I got manipulated. Like
And that's why it happens a lot of times.
But
That's how it happens a lot of times. like
I still feel like I did something. You get what you want.
That's a cheat code that a lot of women don't realize. Like a lot of them think that if I push my way, if I insist, I'm going to push my way and get what I want. Nah, you encourage him and he will make the decision and still give you what you want. and he'll think it was his idea the whole time.
Exactly.
The whole time. And sometimes I often say, when it comes to my wife, if I happen to if I make the opposite decision, okay, I'm gonna go with what I want to do. I feel strongly about this. We moving to Minnesota. I'm taking this job, working on this windmill, whatever. And it fails miserably.
Uh-oh.
No one knows that better than me.
Yeah.
No one feels worse having to come back home to her mama house or back to wherever, to South Carolina, to fix this. And you can best believe, again, like I say, if you have a good head of household, I probably felt that, and I'm gonna change it next time. Most likely next time we have a plan. Babe, you think I should take this job? No, I think you should not. I'm not. I ain't gonna do it.
Nope, they ain't gonna have
Sorry, I can't do it.
Like even in 50, whatever you want to believe, I feel like, being the head of house, you're like the vice president, you're tiebreaker.
This is what I was saying.
And I feel like you should be that at all times, because Football Reference, at the end of the game, you at the podium. Like, it was a good win. We played like a good team. We executed well. Next question. Win or loss? Yeah, I could have played better.
That's it.
It ain't like, man, my line wasn't blocking. Wide receiver wasn't running their routes. Nah, it's you.
We not pulling those Zach Wilsons. Sorry.
I guess you.
Right.
You're the reason why they win. You're the reason why they lose.
You get the accolades when they win. Coach, that was an outstanding game. 67 to. Did you think you were going to blow out Philadelphia like that? I mean, it's not about a blowout. We weren't thinking about that. We were thinking about getting the win. These guys went out there. They executed well. We drew up the plays. We put it out there for them. And they did well. Well, Coach, flip it. Coach, there was a 67 to 0 blowout. Did you think you were going to do this bad against Cincinnati? Well, you can never anticipate the way any game goes, but we could have played better. We could have done. We drew up some things. Things didn't go our way. We'll look forward to trying to get some things together next year.
That is so funny, because that's absolutely how the conversations go.
Listen, we done heard enough of them. I don't know why. I've been wondering. My dad used to think I could be a reporter, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, but could I ask them stupid questions like that? To talk about it. To me, it is, and then rush. I want to rush in front of. We all reporters. I'm gonna rush in front of you to ask them that stupid question. Well, Coach, how's it feel to lose to Cincinnati in the Super Bowl 63-0? How the frick do you think it feels? How would it feel to you? Did you just come up front to ask me that question?
Like, you got your in-laws and stuff be the reporters. How's it feel to lose your place to stay and have to come back and stay in my basement? To eat off of my table, my food. Like we put sugar in our grits, and I know you don't like that. That's why we put sugar in our grits.
Oh my gosh. That's just hateful.
But how's it feel to feel that loss immediately?
I mean, more than standing, like you said, more than my father-in-law standing up there having to tell me or say anything like, shouldn't have went in the first place. I'm not get mad with that. Hey, look, you ain't know what my circumstances was. Tell me what the heck I was supposed to do or not do. I was doing what I needed to do. Now I'm defending myself. But if you just asking me, hey, you want some of these pork chops? Yes, sir. I should have never went to Tennessee in the first place. I'm already. I'm sorry. I gotta come back here.
You done broke it.
That's why I gotta keep my own place, man. I gotta keep my own place.
Man, what you talking?
I gotta never ever because I retain the right to say two things. You can go home, number one. And this is my house.
Oh gosh.
We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight.
Exactly. This is
my house.
Whose house?
Blunt's house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, shoot, fellas, we've been doing this for a good little while. It's been pretty fun.
A little bit. Yeah, it's been fun. For sure. For sure.
Y'all got anything y'all want to add? Anything you want to say before we go?
No, I think I voiced my opinion. Aired myself out there. I'm good.
All right, well, I'm going to lateral it to Terrence for the closing.
I know we haven't been around in a little bit, but we still are always anxious and eager to hear what you all have to say. Drop a comment. Let us know if there was anybody who had a different point of view or something that we didn't touch on, something that you wanted to add to the conversation. We're here for it. And as always, thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless you. Good night. Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.